Engulfed by an inferno, drivers attempt to navigate the roads of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, an oil depot hit by missiles burning in their path. A few kilometres away, the famous faces of world motorsport navigating the same scenario as the blaze held up practice for the Grand Prix.
We've seen the black smoke rising. We can see actually the flames in the distance as well. It's gone into the barriers now. We've got our first safety car of the evening.
Are you okay, Mick? Are you okay?
And I'm afraid you're straight into a cul-de-sac at that point, and you can see how well.
And that's Sergio Perez who's been tagged, and there's another incident involving George Russell.
From the one, I mean,
there is now on the screen. I mean,
Saudi Arabia will pay a whopping $650 million over the next 10 years to host F1 races. But I've got one question for you. Is it worth to risk human lives for all that oil money? And if you could decide the future of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, what would it be? Comment below. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was held as per plan despite a missile strike on an oil storage facility that was less than 10 miles from the track.
Black smoke spread from the Aramco oil station across the sky. The fire took pole position.
While it's got nothing to do with Formula 1, the timing was intended to coincide with the Grand Prix weekend, so that the news could be covered across the globe for the world to take notice. The conflict between Saudi Arabia and the Houthis in Yemen has been going on for the past 7 years. The war came to this region in the form of missile and drone attacks on airports and oil infrastructure. While the group claims that they only target the infrastructure and not the people, it's hard to conclude that human lives are entirely safe. Besides this, there have been several issues of human rights in the country. Former F1 world champions Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel have raised concerns over F1's presence and responsibility in the country. And the Jeddah racetrack is as dangerous as it can get. It's agreed that the modern Formula 1 cars are much safer. However, it does not imply that the drivers should be treated as gladiators in order to put on a show. It's still unclear how the FIA certified this track as race fit, and not even reacting to the main problem, but instead just highlight the safety of the F1 cars. The FIA should take meaningful measures to improve the safety of the track. FOM, on the other hand, has turned into a cash cow, which it was already. But ever since the rights were taken over by Liberty Media, it has reached its pinnacle. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, combined with the state-owned oil giant Aramco's sponsorship, F1 will earn close to $1 billion over the next 10 years. So it seems to be a lucrative deal that F1 does not want to miss out on. But is it worth the tremendous risk of safety and human rights violations? And if they want to keep Saudi on the calendar, what are the solutions? To begin with, to not race in Saudi for a couple of years and find a stopgap venue, maybe Las Vegas. Ensure the organizers address these issues before returning. Improve the safety of the track, maybe even at the cost of reducing the speed. Monaco track is narrower, but it's not high speed, so we don't see life-threatening crashes at Monaco. Saudi can even consider building a proper racetrack, something similar to Bahrain or Abu Dhabi. The authorities should provide assurance that they have planned and implemented adequate measures to improve human rights within the country. And most important, F1 should not sign any clauses that potentially risk drivers and the F1 teams of their rights, which means they should not be threatened and forced into racing if they don't want to. If Saudi Arabia can pull off these over the next year or two, then there shouldn't be a problem for F1 to race over there.